Hi, my name is Matt McElreath, and this is my Chick-fil-A story. So I grew up in Jonesboro, Georgia. My whole life I've been eating at Dwarf House, Truett's, Chick-fil-A's all across Atlanta. Know the company, and through high school actually did a career interest project and projected that I might actually work at Chick-fil-A. As I was finishing up my Master's in Business Administration, I began to think about what was next, where was I going to go next to start a career. There was a job fair that was offered there, and there were a couple companies that I really wanted to go and meet. The first one was a local banking business. Thought that with my finance undergrad I would go into investment banking, banking itself, something in that area. Another company that was there that I wanted to meet was Chick-fil-A 9 Mile Road. And I remember knowing of Chick-fil-A and going to the booth thinking, what really draws me to Chick-fil-A? What brings me to a quick service restaurant that I would be excited about after graduating college? Through talking to people there about this FasTrak management program that was offered, really began to see the real potential in what Chick-fil-A 9 Mile Road had to offer. I saw this position as a starting point to my career. I didn't know where exactly that would end up for me, but I knew that Chick-fil-A 9 Mile Road and what I would be learning here at the restaurant would be things that I could take into a career in my future. I accepted a pay that was possibly lower than what I thought I might step into in a career, but I knew that there would be things that I would be learning that I wasn't going to get paid for. Things that I could put on my resume, things that I would learn as far as skills and communication and conflict resolution, things that you don't just learn anywhere. I would be given responsibilities. I would be given a chance to own something, to make something my own, and to increase it. So my first 6 months of time there at Chick-fil-A 9 Mile Road began with extensive training in all of the front of house, back of house positions. I learned cashier, I learned drive-through, I learned drinks, I learned milkshakes, I learned how to bread chicken, I learned how to serve chicken. I learned everything about our restaurant that there was to be learned on the front line. Very important to eventually moving into a management position. After those first few months, I was offered a spot in our honor leadership team, and this was our catering supervisor position. The catering supervisor position was a great spot for me, and I say that now. I probably wouldn't have said that at the time, because catering is a position that is very outgoing, and I tend to be more inward focused. I tend to look at numbers. And you have to build relationships and connections with people outside in our community. So this was a place for me to grow, a place for me to, as I said earlier, to take a spot in our restaurant and to increase it. So this brings me to 2016. The previous year, we had done about $125,000 in catering sales. Now this was catering deliveries, catering pickups, and upon me moving into the catering position, I wanted to do something different, to add something to our restaurant. We had many ideas floating around because there's so much potential with the catering department. And a big thing for us was ADVs, this additional distribution points. These are ways for us to step out in our community and to sell in different areas, different businesses, hospitals, places in our community that wouldn't normally be reached by just our restaurant itself. So through the next year, we were able to see 140% growth to $300,000 in catering sales. Through our team, I can't say it was just myself, but this is another example of me being able to come into this business, to be given something, given part of the business, and to see it grow, to really put myself and my heart into something. And anywhere else, I probably wouldn't have this opportunity. I wouldn't have the opportunity to take responsibility for something. And I can now put this on my resume and to show this as an example of who I am and what I've been able to do with what's been given to me. So I began to think, what's next? upon coming into Chick-fil-A, I thought there were probably two tracks where I would possibly go. One was to be an operator, and the other was to work for the corporate staff at Chick-fil-A. Through this thought process, I began to talk to our operator, Mr. Robert Barnes, about these next steps and what it would take. I had decided that an operator position wouldn't quite be for me. I didn't feel completely committed to it, and the position takes a lot of commitment, a lot of time, and I didn't feel like that was exactly what I was headed for. The other option was to work on the corporate staff. So I began to talk to Mr. Barnes about what that looks like. What would be something that I would enjoy, that I could do? Still work for Chick-fil-A, still work for operators, but do this on a larger scale. And one position that was brought up to me was the franchisee accountant role at Chick-fil-A. This role, although it is a corporate position, is very operator focused. You work with possibly 40, 60 restaurants, dealing with their back office accounting work. And this is something that I studied for, something that I learned, and got my master's for something like this. After several months of interviews, I'm happy to say now that I accepted an offer, and I'm now starting with Chick-fil-A Corporate, the franchisee accountant role. If you're where I am and you're thinking, what's that next step? What's the next career path? I would say that you should truly consider Chick-fil-A 9 Mile Road for this next step. The investment, the opportunity, what you'll learn, what you will have to grow from, what you can put on a resume, what you can influence, the different people that you'll meet, will give you opportunities in the future that you never thought that you would have initially. Chick-fil-A 9 Mile Road changed really my career. It changed my life. It changed my plan. But I truly believe it was where I should be. And I hope that you see that same thing in Chick-fil-A 9 Mile Road as well.